Welcome to Marpeal Fashion World. Today we are about to embark on a creative journey as we craft the trendiest lunch bag together. Get ready to infuse your unique style into this DIY adventure. I am Holukaya Roots and I am excited to guide you through the steps. Let's make something extraordinary. Welcome to the crafting fun. So the material needed, we have the leather, we have the foam, we have the belt, we have the piping, we have zip, we have adjuster, we have hook, everything. As we continue to use it, you begin to get the name and understand it more. So that's all we need for this lunch bag. Look at our measurement. Just these four things is what is going to create and give us our lunch bag. So as we are taking the measurements for we are taking the leather of the 17 by 8 and a half. Can you see 17 by 8 and a half? Just take the measurement. No, we just have four measurements. So now we are going to, we know for 17 the middle is going to be 8 and a half, and that's half of it. So we are going to measure half of it. So we'll measure 8 and a half and mark it round. So can you see we've already marked that. That was the middle of the leather, 17 by 8.5. So our next thing, can you see the long leather? So our next step is to mark 2 inches from that line, from the middle. Just mark 2 inches from the middle and mark it round too. Measure 2 from that line, 2 inches from that line, and mark it out too. So the next thing is to get to measure the middle of our line, the middle point, the one, the 8.5 mark that we mark, not the 2 inches. So is to get the middle that should be 4.2. You know, at the pro, if you check it very well, and just know that the middle is 4.2. You know, we use just 4 points is between 4 and 4.5. So that's, and we know the width of the bag is 8.5, not 9. So the middle point is going to be 4.2. Depending on your tape, we just know it's going to be the middle between 4 and 4.5. So after measuring it, please don't make the mistake. Let it be on the line of the 8.5, not the 2 inches that we measure. So from that line of the 2 inches that we measure, can you see, just measure one from the edge. Can you see the way I'm doing it? So one from the edge, from the two sides, join that together. We are joining it to the line of the 2 inches that we measure, not the middle point of 8.5, please. So can you see the other side to 1 inch, 1 inch? So you see that it's not, is 1 inch. We are measuring that we are measuring that vertically, not horizontally. So 1 inch from the line of the 2 inches from the middle that we measure, not the middle line. So the next thing we are going to do is to cuff it from that middle that we measured, the 4.2, the middle of our half. Can you see, you cuff it to the 2 inches? Can you see what you are cuffing it to meet? You are cuffing from the middle. Sorry, is the thing is not clear enough. Can you see it? From that middle to the start of the 1 inches. So can you see, just cuff it to get, I'm doing one side just because I want to get a perfect cuff. I want the both sides to be equal. So just cut it, then we use the measurements of the first one to get the second one. Can you see? Just make sure you continue trying till you get a perfect cuff that you know, oh, this is perfect. Or you look for an object to help you cuff it. So immediately you get to the point where we mark as the half of it, just stop, then cut the second side to just where the line stopped. Don't curve down, just cut to where the line stop. Then can you see, just to get a perfect curve so that it will be equal. Can you see, just make it rhyme to get the perfect curve. Can you see, just follow the step, it's very easy, you get it. Then cut it out. So cutting it out here, you're going to get a perfect curve, a perfect one. So just make sure the one you are cutting before is perfect. Anything you cut there is the same thing you cut it, so it can be perfect. So easy. Now we are done with all the cutting, everything. We have all our leather, we have everything for the bag. The next thing is to cut our foam. So that's the next thing, cutting of our foam. So some people use warmer. Some people don't use foam, they just use warmer. But I'm going to be using foam for this bag. But if it's warmer you want to use, it's still the same method. So some people use warmer, some people don't use foam. You can use anything. You can use any one out of the two. But if you know you're using an manual machine, I think it's better you use a foam. I showed the picture of a warmer there, and I showed the picture of a warmer at the beginning of the video too. Can you see the warmer? That's the warmer. So now I want to cut out the foam. Cut exactly the size. See the way I cut my own, because I want to manage my foam. I want to manage it. So that's the same way I cut it on the leather, to make sure no piece is wasting. So you can manage, just make sure you cut out foam exactly the same size, of the leather. Just cut out the foam for each side, even with the small piece of 1/8. Cut foam for each side. So I mean, you should cut foam for each part. Every part of the leather, every part of the lunch bag. Just cut foam for everything. So after the foam, the next thing I'm just going to cut is the lining. Please pay attention to how I'm going to cut my lining. Just pay attention to it. If for anybody that wants to put the cartoon character, you can also add cartoon character to it, but that one, in the same part, we are going to see how to put cartoon character, because I will not be using cartoon character for this bag. So can you see, not to waste later, can you see the way I cut my foam? So just to cut that part, you just have to hold it down. You can remove the others, just hold it down and cut it. So be careful so as not to waste too much foam. So now we are packing away the foam so as to cut our lining. So to cut the line, just please follow what I do in this line, because some is going to be exactly the same size and some you have to leave space. So look at the first one I'm going to start with. This general line is going to be exact, is going to be 1 inch, like just leave space because you're going to tuck it in. So some people might not leave space, but I think you have to just leave space so that your bag will be more neat. So can you see the way I left space in at the four sides of the bag, up, down, left and right? I left space for this general bag. I left space. So can you see? I carefully remove that and cut. Can you see that this one you don't have to leave space for that at all. Please don't leave space for it at all. You know you left space for the general. Just cut exactly the shape of this. Just cut exactly. Can you see? So for this one, same thing. Leave space 1 inch round. Same thing. Just leave space 1 inch round for both. And for the first side, just leave space. So just be cutting lining for the 1/8 part. We will not be cutting for the long, the 6 by 26 and a half. So just be cutting lining for the small part. So that's the end of the lining. That's the end of the cutting. So the next part is the sewing part, which will be in our next video because I don't want this video to be too long. So as we wrap up the cutting phase of our DIY lunch bag, remember the best is yet to come. Stay tuned for the same magic in our next video. Hit subscribe so you won't miss a stitch of the creative journey. Until then, happy crafting and see you in the next exciting chapter. Thank you.